All right, guys, I'm super excited to talk to you about some of the new enhancements to Google Slides that were released on Wednesday. I stalked Slides all day on Wednesday waiting for these things to go live, and they finally went live for our GA accounts after school. So I spent some time yesterday, and I'm really excited to show you some of the features that you can use. And the first one that I'm super excited about is Pear Deck. And what Pear Deck is it's an add-on now for Google Slides, which is pretty awesome. So you can take slide decks that you already have in Google Slides or PowerPoints that you have or use or keynotes and upload and convert them to Google Slides and use this amazing formative assessment tool within your classroom presentations. So I'm not giving you like the full idea of how it's going to work because I just have like one slide here and I'm just going to put formative assessment slides in here, but picture like you're presenting your lesson content on slides. And so you have multiple slides here, and then within your presentation, you can embed formative assessment slides and get instantaneous feedback from your students throughout your lesson. It's pretty awesome. So it's on the new and improved add-ons menu in Google Slides, which didn't exist before. And so I've already installed it, but if you don't have it, you'd say get add-ons, and then you would select Pear Deck. There's just a few in there right now, but I imagine that collection is going to rapidly grow since they just released add-ons for Slides like 2 weeks ago for rapid release accounts. So under the Pear Deck add-on, once you have it, you get some options. So you get 4 kind of like pre-made template slides, a warm-up reflection, temperature check, or an exit ticket slide. And then they have these kind of amazing custom interactive slides where students can free draw a response. They can give you a number response, like what did you get for X? And they can also like do a text response slide. So I'm just going to show you how a few of these work. And then I'm just going to show you how it actually looks from the present side, from the teacher view. So I'm going to add a warm-up slide, and it's going to give me a little preview, kind of walks me through this process, like here's what the student device is going to look like. This would be what is up on the projector. And so this is great, and I'm going to say add the slide. So my some of the fifth grade classes I've been working with just did this like gummy bear experiment where they soaked gummy bears in water, vinegar, and salt solution, I believe. And so I'm just going to go off of that topic. So instead of this, like, what are 2 things that you already know about today's topic, I'm going to do it as like 2 hypotheses that you have. And I'm not even sure if that's like properly stated, but so the beautiful thing about this is that you get like, yeah, these slides are ugly, but you get the same typical formatting of what you would get for Google Slides. So you can change all your fonts. If you didn't know, there's amazing fonts in Google. You can change your background, your layout, all of these things. If you don't want 2 of these and you only wanted 1, you could get rid of one of these boxes. Like, you have total customization. All you need to know is that you cannot delete this little bar at the bottom, because Pear Deck uses that to show the students, like make the connection between you and the students. So I have more content, I'm like delivering the lesson, yada, 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 and I want another formative assessment slide. So I'm going to go add-ons, Pear Deck, and now I'm going to do one of these custom response ones. So one of the classes I was in, the students kind of had to like take measurements on their gummy bear and then explain like 3 observations of what happened. So they give you like a preview. Here's an idea of what you could use for this, and I'm just going to add this slide. And I'm going to tell my students, this is what I want. I want them to okay, so I have my question. And then I can continue on. So I'm just going to give you one more Pear Deck, and I'm going to do one of these like text response slides. I haven't played with this one yet. This is nice. So here's the preview. They get a nice big text response here, and here's like, write a question about this image. So they have like this image here, and then the students would respond. So I'm going to hit add this slide. Actually, I haven't played with this one yet, so this is exciting. Okay. So, and then I'm ready to go. So once you've created your formative assessment slides inside your presentation, again, you can have other content slides happening in here. There's other new enhancements to Google Slides that are super great that I want you to check out, like the new grid view. They have the new Google Keep Notepad. So if you're not using it, you should be doing it. And they have awesome features like the Q&A within Google Slides, but just takes it to the whole new level. So when you're ready to actually use this presentation with students, you could say present with Pear Deck. And when you say present with Pear Deck, it's going to actually open you up in the Pear Deck tool that's going to give it, and they explain what's going to happen. It's going to put a code up, and that's what the students are going to join with. So I'm going to present. Now I'm going to try this with 2 Chrome windows on the same Chromebook. And let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that it works for us. So on the screen, they're going to give us a web address. It does take a few seconds for it to load up all of the slides into Pear Deck for you, because Pear Deck is like this amazing tool that you used to be able to just go to and use for free, but it was very limited. And I was like, why would you want to use this? I have all of these great Google Slides presentations. I'm not happy with this. And then they just like made the perfect pair. And so now I'm super excited about it. And you'll see when I go to my sessions, you'll see that I have lots of sessions because I had them before. So students are going to go to peardeck.com join. And so like you're seeing this right now on my screen, I'm not really projecting, and then they're going to put in this code. So I have another window open, so I'm going to try this. So I'm going to go peardeck.com/join. And then I'm going to put in that code. I'm hoping that what Pear Deck is not able to do is like identify that I'm already in the session, but I'm actually going to jump out and use my student account. So they'll be happy. Never mind. It's going to be a non-issue now. Spelled right. Sweet. Okay, so I don't remember what the code was. So I'm going to go back up. Wow, ZGBWD. Okay, so ZGBWB. Got it. Zesty grapes. Winning. There I go. And I don't even have to hit enter. Once I get into the code, it'll go for you. And you say you're in, your teacher will begin shortly. So I'm coming back to my teacher session. So I'm going to try to keep my tab straight. Oh, it's so mad at me. Shoot. I really wanted it to work. So on the student screen, I'm going to just stitch these together. But so on the teacher's screen, I'm going to sign in here, see if it'll let me go back in. Okay, so here we go. It says one student has joined and I'm ready to go. So I think I'm going to try to get it to be happy with me. So here we go. So I start presenting. I'm presenting my content. I go through some slides. And then I get to my formative assessment slide. So you'll see that it says down at the bottom, no responses, presenting, here's my code. I can see, I can go back and forth through the slides like this, which is what I was doing. I can navigate and jump to slides. I can present individual student responses as they come. I can lock the slide, and then I can ask new questions on the fly, and that's really cool. I'll show you that in a second. So on the student view, this is what this looks like now. On the student view, this is the student view, and it says what are 2 hypotheses that you had? Should have said had about the gummy bears. And so students can either draw, they can erase, they can do a line, and they can do text on these slides. So so I'll do text, and I'll say in this type of text question, it's a really small box. So if you want them to have a nice big text box, use the text response slide. But this is one of those slides where they can actually draw what they were expecting. So I'm going to say 1. And then to get this to go into the content, I just click into the slide and it goes. Okay. And it's going to be very angry at me because it just keeps going. It's going to keep making me jump between these 2, but you get the idea of what this is going to look like. I just want to get one of my student responses in so you can see this. If I was not on the Chromebook right now and I was on a laptop, it would all be going happy, but I'm trying to trick the system right now and doing it like this. And so then I answer over here. And I can click. I can also select the pen, change the size of my pen, and I can actually draw right on my Chromebook as well. So then as the teacher slide, if I come back to my teacher slide, you'll see here's my student response. And if I click on this project student response, I can see the student response like this, project student response. It's pretty awesome. So I can see how my students are doing. In the pro version, you actually get like a teacher dashboard, and I'm sure that's like where you can actually see all of the individual student responses coming in and jump between them. I actually haven't seen with more than one student in here, but I'm assuming you'll see a list of your students down the side and you'll be able to jump through the responses. And so what you could do is this lock slide, when I come in here and I'm not projecting a student response, I can lock this slide and then I can view. And so the lock slide is so like on the screen, the students are still seeing the question, they're not seeing other students' responses, and you could actually be able to go through the student responses. So I'm going to unlock and then hide the student responses. On the fly, you can ask new questions, and it's going to be mad at me. I should have stayed. Sorry. On the fly, you can ask new questions, and there's really fun ones like true or false. So you can cover more content and then just ask like true or false questions on the fly. It's pretty awesome. It's pulling me up. Okay, good. So it brought me right back in. So on the fly, I can ask questions like this. So I can ask the same question over again. I can ask the same type of question, which is a free response draw, or I can ask these type of questions on the fly. So we just covered all of these things, and I'm like, okay, true or false? The gummy bear got bigger or smaller after we floated it in vinegar. And I could just kind of get a gauge of whether or not students understood what happened with the vinegar gummy bear. So I could do an on-the-fly question. And an on-the-fly question will just come up like this. And then you'll see no responses. And then on my student Chromebook, it's going to ask me, it pops up like this, and I can select true or false. If I actually click on something right now, it's going to make me sign in again. So I'm not going to, just to give you the idea of that. And so that's pretty much it. I'm sorry, I had to like bounce in and out of accounts like 4 times, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what you could do. So what conclusion can you draw? Or let me go back to this gummy bear one, the measure one, and then the students could actually like draw right on the screen their whole, gummy bear, what happened to the gummy, and all of those things on their screen here. So it's pretty awesome. It's definitely easier for you to play with on your own with a student, not on one Chromebook where you're bouncing in and out. But that's Pear Deck for Google Slides, and I'm